When I walked into the courtroom, the judge was shocked. Why are you here? When I walked into the courtroom, the judge was shocked. He was in the middle of speaking, his voice calm, practiced, confident, when his eyes suddenly lifted from the file in front of him and locked onto me. His words died in his throat. The courtroom, moments ago filled with murmurs and shuffling papers, fell into an uneasy silence. He leaned forward slowly, adjusted his glasses, and asked the question that would echo in my mind for the rest of my life. Why are you here? My name is Yongen ***. I am ***, 65 years old ***. At that moment I understood why the judge was surprised. Old men like me are not expected to stand alone before the law. We are supposed to be witnesses, not defendants. Supporters, not the accused. We are expected to sit quietly at the back of the courtroom, hands folded, waiting for life to end gently, not dragged back into judgment. But life does not always follow expectations. The weight of a long life. I stood there with a spine no longer straight, knees stiff from years of labor, hands scarred and rough from decades of honest work. These hands had built houses, lifted children, buried loved ones, and held the woman I loved as she took her last breath. They were not criminal hands, yet here they were, trembling under the weight of accusation. People stared, some whispered, others looked away, uncomfortable, as if age itself should have granted me immunity. I wished it had. As the judge waited for my answer, memories flooded my mind, not in neat order but in waves. Childhood, youth, regret, love, loss, all of it rushing toward the moment that had brought me here. I cleared my throat and said softly, I am here because the past never stays buried. Where my story began. I was born in a small rural village where the roads were dirt and the future was uncertain. We didn't have much, but we had each other. My father worked the land with hands as cracked as dry soil, and my mother turned scarcity into survival with patience and quiet strength. From them, I learned two things early in life. Work hard and don't complain. School ended early for me. By my teenage years, I was already working beside my father, chasing daylight, chasing enough money to keep the family afloat. Dreams were luxuries meant for other people. When I met Lyra ***, everything changed. She had a laugh that made even bad days feel lighter. She believed in tomorrow when I only believed in today. We married young, poor and hopeful. Our home was small, but it was warm. When our children were born, I promised myself one thing: they would never know hunger or fear the way I had. Promises are dangerous things. They push you to places you never expected to go. The mistake that followed me for 35 years. Life was hard in those early years. There were nights I worked until my bones screamed, mornings I woke before the sun, days I skipped meals so my children wouldn't have to. Then my father fell ill. Medical bills piled up. Lyra was pregnant again. Debt sat on my chest like a stone. That's when the land became an option. A small piece of inherited property, nothing valuable, nothing sentimental, or so I thought. A man from the city came with polished shoes and smooth words. He offered help. He said he'd handle the paperwork. He said everything was legal, simple, quick. I didn't read every line. I didn't ask enough questions. I trusted him. That decision took less than an hour. Its consequences waited *35 years to find me. The letter that reopened my past. After Lyra died, time slowed. The house echoed with her absence. I spoke to no one most days, then the letter arrived. Official, cold, unforgiving. It accused me of fraud, claimed the land sale had been illegal, that signatures had been manipulated, that ownership was disputed. Fraud. At 65 years old. I laughed at first, then I cried, then I couldn't sleep. Each new letter felt heavier than the last. Court summons, legal warnings, deadlines. Suddenly my quiet grief turned into fear. Not fear of prison, but fear of disgrace. What would my children think? What would my wife think, watching from wherever souls go? The day of judgment ***. On the morning of the trial, I wore my best jacket, the one I had saved for funerals and important moments. My reflection in the mirror looked older than I felt, and younger than my regrets. The courtroom was colder than expected. The walls didn't care about my history. The benches didn't care about my sacrifices. When the judge asked why I was there, I realized something painful. This wasn't just about land. It was about responsibility, my truth before the court. I am not a criminal, I said, my voice trembling. But I am not innocent either. I told them everything, about poverty, about fear, about trusting the wrong person, about signing papers I didn't understand because I was desperate to protect my family. I didn't beg. I didn't deny. I took responsibility for my ignorance and for the consequences of it. The courtroom listened. Even the judge softened. The verdict *. The investigation revealed the truth. The city man had manipulated documents. He had preyed on ignorance. I was not guilty of fraud. But I was guilty of negligence. The judge's voice was firm but not cruel as he delivered the verdict. A fine, no prison, no criminal record. Then he said something I will never forget. Mr. Yongen, honesty does not erase mistakes, but it gives us something better, the chance to learn from them. What I learned that day. I sat outside the courthouse long after everyone left, watching people hurry past, unaware of how quickly life can turn. I called my children, I told them everything. They didn't judge me. They understood me. That night, for the first time since my wife died, I slept without fear. Why I tell this story? I tell this story because age does not protect us from consequences. Because good people can still make bad decisions. Because silence, ignorance, and trust without understanding can cost a lifetime. And because compassion, real compassion, can still exist within justice. Moral of the story *. A long life does not excuse past mistakes, but honesty gives them meaning. True dignity is not found in perfection, but in accountability. And no matter how old you are, it is never too late to face the truth, accept responsibility, and walk forward with humility. My name is Yongen *. I am *, 65 years old *. And the day I walked into that courtroom, I learned that the past may return, but it does not have to define how we leave this world.